Okay. The St. John's Church of Faith Annual Board Meeting held today, the 30th of March. These are the highlights of the accomplishments of the Board of Directors throughout the year 2007. Vision Committee established and church building fund opened for the future growth of St. John's Church of Faith. Fundraisers for the year were raffle tickets sold by church members and also at Expo held in September. Drawing held at the end of the Expo, monthly breakfasts after church, Christmas bazaar held in the church basement, old cell phones and toner cartridges collected and sent out for reimbursement. Pumpkin rolls were sold, raffle tickets being sold again for a drawing to be held in May at the Expo. Thanks to everyone who made these events a success and brought our church family together. The second one is Sunday School, the Fruits of the Spirit, now being held during the church services was started. 3 was the sound system and video system now installed in the church that are used every Sunday and also at teaching events. DVDs available for the services at a cost of $7.50. 4 is the Bureau of Health Inspection was approved by the city. 5 is contribution of the Lehigh Valley Council of Churches. A contribution there was given of $1,000 last year. 6 is the repair work on the church itself. The HVAC systems were repaired, light put out the back door, and new wiring in the church basement completed by our own Jeff Schaefer. And thank you to Jeff for all the work that he has done on the church. The church was painted outside and repaired for a cost of $14,900. Pest control monthly service and plumber, which is called to unclog usually the kitchen sink, and also the roof was checked out by Whitaker Roofing during the course of the year. Number 7 is tax exemption status was filled out and sent in last February, and that is approved this past June, and that stands for a period of 4 years, and it expires 2/29 of 2012. And a thank you to Randy Gilbert for helping getting this approved, and you're welcome. 8th is the church insurance policy was renewed on the building and the contents. 9th is the 3rd annual expo for St. John's Church. It was held May 19th and 20th at Ag Hall. The 4th one will be this year, which will be May 17 and 18. And a thank you to Isabel for all her hard work and making this a successful event, and also to everyone who volunteers their time and services. 10th is summer picnic. The church held it on Sunday, July 22nd at the Upper Macungie Park. It was a huge success and everyone had a wonderful time. The date for this year's picnic will be announced at a later date. Number 11 is we will continue to have fundraisers throughout the year. We have had the Mr. Pasty sale, monthly breakfasts, raffle tickets, and once again Saturday morning mini expos held at the church. Monthly healing services will be starting again. I believe it's next week.
Next Wednesday. Not this Wednesday, following.
Okay. 12th is the harmony table that was donated to the church last March. The cost of the table was $7,000, and it was used at the May Expo and healing services at the church, and it was very well received. New copier was purchased for the church, HP L7680, and that has an extended warranty. Total cost was $514.93. 14th is the church was damaged in November of 2007 when a car hit the sign. The sign now repaired and reinstalled. No cost to the church for the repair. It was all covered by the driver's insurance. 15th is a duplicating machine purchased for copying more than one service at a time. And thank you to Karen for doing such a wonderful job with that. I would also like to thank Pastor Lloyd Mall, Reverend Jack, and everyone who helped out this year to make our church a success. And let us work to continue together as one to see where God is going to be taking us. That is respectfully submitted by myself and Reverend Molly Clymer, who is corresponding secretary.
Thank you very much, Randy. Are there any questions? Because we have a regular secretary report coming up, right? Right? Okay, those were our highlights for the year. Now, let's hear the Secretary's report from last general meeting.
See, you've been blessed because you had two secretaries this past couple years. At our last meeting, which was held March 2nd, 2008, everyone was present at the meeting. For those that you aren't aware of, the current members on the board were Pastor Lloyd Mall, Reverend Jack Lehman, Reverend Joyce Kunkel, Reverend Nancy Outhouse, Reverend Scott Harris, Randy Gilbert, Healing Minister, Hank Klega, Healing Minister, Jeff Schaefer, and myself, Reverend Molly Clymer. We were the current members of the board. The meeting opened at 12:40 with a prayer given by Reverend Jack. Secretary report was read by Randy Gilbert, and it was approved by Jeff Schaefer and by Reverend Molly. Treasurer's report was read by Reverend Joyce. The questions that we had at the last meeting was, Pastor Lloyd questioned why our phone bill was so high, and I explained that I did call the phone company in December, and we found out that we were being charged for every single phone call that comes into the church. Whether we answer it, whether it's a hang-up or whether it's left on the answering service, we were being charged. So Reverend Jack volunteered to talk to Reverend Karen Kohler and to see how they could make out calling the phone company and see what we can do to lower our bill. The other thing that was discussed last month was an ad for the Yellow Pages. The cost for the Yellow Page ad was between $400 to $500 a year. We decided not to have this service because we don't feel that we get a lot of people looking in the Yellow Pages for our church. Motion to approve was by Reverend Scott and also by Reverend Nancy. Old Business Nominating Committee for new officers. I was in charge of sending out the ballots. I sent out 55 paid up members as of March the 2nd. Questions were asked by church members. Someone asked at the meeting last time if someone was an incumbent, do they vote them in again, or are they automatically in? And we explained that there were 5 people being nominated for our new officers. You have to nominate 4. If you want the incumbent, you had to circle that in. It's not an automatic election without being circled. So that gave everyone a chance. And our incumbent that is running is our own Reverend Joyce, who's doing a fantastic job. Discussions were then about how to have the annual meeting, which we had today. We talked about what we were going to have for lunch, and we decided to have it catered by Wegmans and have the luncheon downstairs, but have our meeting upstairs. New business. Lehigh Valley Council of Churches, this is our annual donation time again this year. Do we give another $1,000 to the church, to the Council of Churches? We discussed that at length at the board, and what we came up with is that apparently in the beginning there was a little bit of a mix-up with the Council of Churches. A few years ago we voted to give $1,000 as a one-time pledge, and they took it as $1,000 a year for 3 years. So last year we did keep up with that $1,000, but with the needs of our own people here at our church and helping our own within, we decided that we would send him a donation of $500 this year with a letter. And Reverend Jack is going to send me a sample of what he wants to be said in that letter, and then I'll type it and get it out with the check. But we're not sending the check out until we have a letter to explain that our own church needs have changed too this year. Healing service. Healing service is now going to be held under St. John's Church of Faith and not MUM, since St. John's received the donations from all the healing. And that donation, and people have to understand, the donations were not given to the healers. The donation was turned back to the church to pay for the heating and the light and the insurance. So, sometimes people say, well, who gets it? It goes right back to the church because they have to open the church up, put the heat on again, and pay for the light and all the other services. So the little bit that they do get comes right back to the church. Reverend Isabel is going to be in charge of the healing services from now on. For the healers, there was a meeting this Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Things are going to be run a little bit differently. She's going to meet with everybody on Wednesday and to set up a format of how we're going to do this, and that the healing service is held with respect, and that people should not just wait for one particular person. It's God that does the healing. It's just the people that are the instruments. So we talked about a fee. Should we have a fee for these healing services? Basically, they said a donation is what we're going to ask for to be given at the time of, not a set fee. So the services were advertised by Reverend Isabel. She put it in the magazine along with the MUM, or the St. John rather, Expo in May, so she hit that with when the healing services are going to start, and that'll be not this Wednesday, but the next Wednesday. They'll be open to the public. The board approved these changes. The other item that was brought up, Jack, someone brought up to our attention, I believe it was Randy, that the carpet at the top steps in the back door was loose, and someone almost fell. So Jack went over and he ripped off the top step. We talked about it. This carpet's been there probably 10, 15 years at this point. So what we decided to do is Jack was going to have Ramita Rugg come over, give us an estimate to replace the carpets down the steps at the two landings and also the little bit of carpet that we have in the church basement. So he's going to get a bill for that, and then we'll approve it at our board meeting. The other item that was brought up was a simple item of making sure that everything's turned off after we leave church. We found out that one of the fans were left on by the organ, and it was on probably the whole week. And Jeff Schaefer mentioned that it was a safety hazard and there could have been a fire. So we ask everyone to, just before you leave church, just ballpark us a little bit, make sure we have everything out. If you're the last ones up here and you see a candle on or a fan on, please take care of it for us. We try our best to make sure everything's done, but sometimes we get pulled away. So I ask you all, since you're here, to please help us out. May Expo healing ministers are needed to volunteer at the Expo healing booth, St. John's booth. Fundraiser items, we talked about that. What are we going to have to sell this year? We have to meet again about this. We sold out of all the shirts that we had. We sold out all of the Christmas items that we had. So we have to talk about that. Reverend Scott suggested selling copies of our church services, putting on a few services, like maybe 3 or 4 on one CD. So Reverend Jack put him in charge of doing this and contacting Karen, who has the equipment at her home. So that's something that Scott's going to work on, but we also have to talk about what we're going to sell from St. John's. The printer, this is just a fun thing. We need help on how to use a new printer. We got the same printer that Reverend Isabel has at home. She said she'd be happy to sit us down and show us how to use it. It's not that complex, but without somebody saying push this, and this, we mess it up. So she's going to help us with that. Our meeting ended at 1:50. Motion to approve the meeting was approved by Reverend Lloyd and by Hank, and our next meeting will be held next Sunday. So I thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Now, any questions on our monthly board meeting, which was the first Sunday of this month? Yes, Frank?
I have a question regarding the annual congregation meeting.
Yes.
According to the bylaws, this under section 4, item B, it says the annual meeting shall contain an annual congregational meeting and be annually in October. Will be another meeting in October?
Where are you reading that?
The bylaw.
Oh, that was changed, what, 6 years ago?
No, this is recent, last year. This is the final one, I think.
Well, then, that was missed when they reprinted those bylaws. We moved it from October to March because October was a bad month.
Apparently, I don't have the latest copy. May I have the latest copy?
Oh, well, we'll dig one up for you.
Thank you.
We'll dig one up for you.
So there won't be another meeting in this is the...
This is a yearly meeting, as it has been for the last 6 years. We've been doing it in March. Okay, any other questions? Joyce?
Sabrinsky was here with Lloyd, and I think he's gonna,
Yes, we're going to update that.
and he's going to carpet him.
Yes, I was going to update everybody on that. Here's our committee. Okay. Any other questions? We're going to update on that. Any other questions about what was read? If not, it'll be covered under old or new business today. Okay. I might as well update you. Oh, do I hear an approval? Okay, Jean made a motion that it be approved as read, and we had a multiple second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, let's go ahead with the treasurer's report. All right? Go ahead.
The income from January to December. The income in December was $2,902.55. February was $1,680. March was $2,133. April was $3,128. May was $1,140. June was $1,223. July was $19,172.52. August was $1,394.33. September was $1,541. October was $2,348. November was $1,176.85. And December was $1,444, which totals up to $39,283.25. Now the speakers, that's the expenses. The speakers was $1,300. Pest control was $420. PP&L was $1,840.80. Telephone was $643.66. Advertisement was $1,345.14. Kitchen was $939.41. The salt for the parking lot was $897.76. Repairs was $16,531.18. Office and equipment was $1,357.81. Outreach was $6,450. Insurance was $2,551. Off-tech, that's the copier, $122.76. Food was $994.43. Miscellaneous was $563.33. And Kistler was $101.01. Water and sewerage was $168.91. And the roof was $295. The heat was $4,311.38. And the sign was $929.81, which totals $41,763.39. Those were the expenses. So we're minus $2,480.14 that we didn't do. And see. Oh, the collections were $14,391. The dues were $750. The healing was $716. The pumpkin rolls were $740. And let's see, the high performance is $3,147.66. And the CD we have is $99, or $99,977.26. And the checking was $2,216.45, which adds up to $105, $341.37. That's it.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. What was that amount?
The what?
What was the amount?
Which amount do you need?
The last one.
Right now, our value is $105,341.37. Well, she said that, but we knew she meant $105,000.
Oh, yeah, I did. Did I say?
You said $105. Okay,
I got a question.
Question.
A sign,
yes. The sign out on the road that was
wasn't
hidden?
that covered by insurance?
Yes, it was.
That's included in the
That's included in income.
income.
That comes in under income.
Yeah.
See, any monies you have coming into our treasury, you have to show it as income. When it goes out, we write a check, then it's outgo. Right. Great.
Is there an item listed as miscellaneous?
Oh.
Joyce, you have a miscellaneous?
Yes, she does.
Yeah, where I have her.
$563. Under food. After food is miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous, $563.33.
Well, I have my things in the back if you want to check them.
But for a year, that's good.
I think so.
Okay, any other questions? Molly?
Okay, the only thing I wanted to explain, in July, that $19,172.52 that we took in.
That's when we got the check from the expo.
And that's what I wanted to explain to people. That was the check that we received.
We got $17,000 for the expo.
$7,500 is what Isabel and everyone in the church made profit from the expo. It's not that we took in $19,000
Yes,
from
right.
it. Jeannie says, oh my God, we took it. I said, no. It's the expo, $17,000.
That was the income from the expo.
Outside of that, then we paid $14,900 for the church to be repaired. So I just wanted to let everybody know, thank God we had our expo.
Right. Any other questions?
Oh, I should have. Oh, these were the expenses. I don't have to read that, do I? Comes out of this. What's the rest of this?
What it boils down to, the income was $39,283.25. The outgo or expenses was $41,763. And
That's the difference
the difference is $2,480
from what we had last year.
for the year. This is a yearly report. So we spent $2,480 more than we took in.
Because we had a lot of expenses this year.
So after all that, we still have $105,341.37 in the bank.
Yay!
So, okay. Okay, do I hear a motion that it be approved as read? Nancy made the motion and John Powers seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
One abstention.
Abstention?
Yes.
Thank you, Frank Marzala.
You gonna
Okay.
check me out, Frank?
Sure
You
you.
gonna check me out?
Sure you.
The reason I'm abstaining is because when I was treasurer, there was no such thing as miscellaneous. Everything could be assigned a category. With blend it in with other categories.
And
You
she,
wouldn't put miscellaneous under food, would you?
What blend it in?
Well, that's not the way we do it. It's separate.
miscellaneous is odds and ends and stuff. Now, if any one of you, and that includes you, Frank, needs to know what miscellaneous is, you get a hold of our treasurer and ask to see her books, because it's listed in her books.
No need for that. I can explain, when I was treasurer, there was never such a word as miscellaneous because I blended in different categories.
I know, Frank, and you were wonderful, and there'll never be another one like you. Amen, amen, amen.
I gotta give him a miscellaneous here.
Okay, you want to give him miscellaneous. And by the graciousness of her heart,
I hope I have.
our treasurer's going to give us miscellaneous.
No need for that. I'll accept the fact that it was a miscellaneous.
Well, let's say that.
Yes, that is all.
Oh, wait, miscellaneous. Oh, $62. That was like nuts and bolts and screws and whatever. $62.
Yeah, I thought
And the other one was $255.84. What was that? I don't have. See, I have it. I just have it.
Well, he said he doesn't need to know. He just wanted to abstain. We're in good shape. We're in good shape.
I know.
By the way, in case you were curious, Joyce and I are leaving tomorrow on a cruise around the world with church money. Thank you.
John, I said the same thing.
Okay. Going on. The ballots have been counted. And this are your new board members. Gary Edick, Reverend Patricia Nice, and Raymond Nice, and Reverend Joyce Kunkel as incumbent. So, for the next 2 years, your board of directors are Reverend Jack Lehman, Reverend Joyce Kunkel, Reverend Molly Clymer, no, I'm telling this, Glenn, please, would you please? I'm sorry, I'm taking a moment for myself.
Okay.
Gary Edick, Reverend Patricia Nice, Raymond Nice, and Jeffrey Schaefer will be your new board with the incumbent. Well, he's not up for re-election, which is Scott Harris. And we thank those who have left our board for their 4 years of service. Yes, Frank?
I would like to thank all those who voted for me. Thank you.
Thank you. All those who voted for Frank Marsland. Thank you for all who voted, because we had a big turnout in the voting this year. Yes, Reverend Lloyd.
You're right. We had more voters this year than we've ever had. We had 52 and 52 votes. So it came out perfect.
Just like the Democratic.
Okay, going on. The next board meeting will be the first Sunday of April, and I would like to see all our new board members as well as all our old members. You know, we we had a total of 60 ballots sent out, and we got 52 back.